A new journey has begun. As the Braves took home their first outright Peach Belt Conference title last week, they have their eyes set to take home more hardware to Pembroke, North Carolina. Every path starts somewhere, and for the Braves, it starts right here at home at Lumbee Guarantee Bank Court. Welcome into the Hawks Nest above Edward English E. Jones Center on the campus of UNC Pembroke. Dave Nguyen alongside John Gross. John, the Braves are in new territory. They are the #1 seed for the first time in this Peach Belt Conference tournament, and they won their first outright Peach Belt Conference title.
A lot of good things going for UNCP, and I think when you look at this program, of the players, the coaches, they understand the journey is not over. Like you said, every journey has to start somewhere. It's just getting started tonight. They won the regular season title. They want more.
Absolutely. They are one of the top teams in the Peach Belt Conference, rightfully so. Preseason picked second, and they went on a 4-game win streak to take home the conference title crown, winning 13 of their last 14 games.
They have been playing some of the best basketball they've played all season. That Francis Marion game in particular, Coach Jones really felt was near the best that they could possibly play, and it showed a 34-point victory. So they're going to look to keep that rolling. He keeps talking about this switch that they just need to turn on and keep up throughout the postseason, and we'll see if they get that started today. The
North Georgia Nighthawks come in with a record of 14-14. They fell 4 of their last 5 games, but won their last game of the regular season, a double overtime victory at Clayton State. They had 6 guys in double figures.
That's a grind-out win, and you always want to end the regular season with a victory, because when you go into the postseason without any momentum, good things typically do not happen. They lost some games in a row to the end, but they ended the season on a positive. And if you're North Georgia, that's a much better way to end the season than a tough loss.
As we get to our players to watch, North Georgia has 3 guys who average in double figures, including KJ Jenkins. Now, John, the interesting part about Jenkins is that as the leading scorer for the Nighthawks, he comes off the bench.
You'll see some teams do that from time to time, and he's a guy who certainly feeds off of that. Some players maybe just prefer to come off the bench. It's not something you see often, but a guy like Manu Ginobili comes to mind from the Spurs, and even we've seen some teams in this conference do it at times this year, but a young, dynamic scorer that can certainly pose some issues for the Braves.
As for the Braves, David Strother is the catalyst, the starting point guard for this offense, averaging 12 points a game and just a little over 4 rebounds. He makes this offense go as one of the best offenses in the conference.
And when he's at his best, he is not turning the basketball over. I think for UNCP to be successful in the postseason, it'll come down to David Strother and really these guards in general limiting their turnovers. If they can do that, I don't think they'll have much of an issue tonight. I think that they should be certainly favored to win the conference tournament. It's all about limiting those turnovers. That assist-to-turnover ratio is absolutely huge come postseason.
The calendar has flipped to March, and as a wise man once said, this is March, and madness is bound to happen. You're watching the Peach Belt Conference quarterfinals right here on the UNCP Sports Network.
A wise person once said, if you give a man a wild-caught, perfectly seasoned Bojangler fried fish fillet sandwich with tangy tartar sauce and American cheese, you can feed him for a day. But if you teach a man that he should get 2 of them because it really is that good, you can go ahead and feed yourself too. After all, you probably deserve it. Get a tasty, flaky Bojangler fish fillet sandwich right now at Bojangles. It's Bo time.
The town of Pembroke, incorporated in 1895, is a proud community rich in heritage. Pembroke is a quaint but growing town, regarded as the social, political, cultural, and commercial center for the Lumbee tribe, the largest American Indian tribe east of the Mississippi River, with over 58,000 members.
Welcome inside Lumbee Guarantee Bank Court, home of the Braves of UNC Pembroke. Dave Noy alongside John Gross. John, it's postseason basketball time right here at the bank. The juices are flowing. Everybody's got to be excited.
Yeah, it does not get much better than this, and you factor in what's at stake here. UNCP, they will make the NCAA tournament regardless of what happens, but obviously they're fighting for another conference championship, and even beyond that, they're fighting for seeding in the regional postseason tournament. Right now sitting number 2 in the Southeast region, but they want to win this all. They want to give themselves a shot to play in the championship game on Sunday, and then beyond that, continue their season.
Absolutely. Well, let's get to today's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Nighthawks in North Georgia, at guard, a junior from Columbia, South Carolina, number 2, Zez Steeple. At guard, a sophomore from Hayesville, North Carolina, number 10, Josh Cottrell. At guard, a 6'2 senior from Altoona, Alabama, number 21, Ephraim Shamunga. And rounding out the starting 5, a forward from Cartersville, Georgia, number 42, Karad Watson. The Nighthawks wear their road royal blue uniforms. Out for the Braves as Akia Pruitt wins the tip. It'll be Struther handling the point guard duties, along with Tyrell Kirk and Jordan Ratliff in the backcourt, and with Akia Pruitt and Carson Mounts in the front court. Ratliff with the basketball, driving, and the ball bounced on the floor out of bounds. Last touch by the Nighthawks. Braves basketball. Tyrell Kirk did miss the last game due to a minor ankle injury, and he appears to be just fine today, John.
Yeah, you look at the two games these two teams played earlier this season. UNCP won handily, but it's a different beast in the postseason. Expect this one to be a little closer.
Mounts takes the first jumper for the Braves. Pruitt with the offensive board, and the referee calls time. The shot clock should reset because it did hit the rim. It should be a fresh 20.
So yeah, we'll see if they say it did hit the rim. I'm not so sure it did.
That's what the argue is on the floor. Instead, they're not going to change the shot clock, so the Braves need to shoot this one quickly. Ratliff off a screen. Can't get that one to fall. Good tip by Mounts, but it's right into the hands of Cottrell. Here comes Ephraim Shamunga. A Zez Steeple looking for Shamunga, a backdoor. Ball sails out of bounds. Braves basketball. The first turnover of the day belongs to the Nighthawks.
That'll be a key metric we talked about in the pregame. Limiting turnovers really for both teams. You win the turnover battle, you put yourselves in a good position.
Pruitt on the block, tips it back out in the corner to Tyrell Kirk. Jab step by Kirk, finds Pruitt. 13 to shoot for the Braves. Ratliff. Over to Struther. They look for Mounts on the block. 5 to shoot. Struther in the lane. Ball tipped out of bounds. And with 1 second on the shot clock, the Braves need to do something quickly. This is a Nighthawks defense that is third best in terms of points allowed and only 77 points allowed per contest this season. Tyrell Kirk to inbound, immediately stolen by Shamunga. One-on-one with Struther. Shamunga lost the handle. Good defense there by David Struther. Watson for a 3. That's no good. A gang rebound, ultimately corralled by Akia Pruitt. He needs 4 more to get 1,000 for his career. Tyrell Kirk dancing with Cottrell. Pulls up for a left elbow jumper. Count it. No, don't count it. It is a foul on the floor before the shot.
And going back to the last possession for the Braves, we saw the steal by Shamunga. He is one of the best, not only the conference, but nationally at doing that. And he's really the catalyst of this defense. You mentioned a great scoring defense. They're very sound to the defensive side of the basketball. Then offensively, they'll slow things down quite a bit too, like to keep things a little lower scoring.
It'll be a foul on Cottrell, his first. Attacking is Ratliff, and the first points of the day belong to the Braves.
Aggressive. Ratliff's done it all year long, just does a great job getting to the basket and making opponents pay when he's able to get there.
Braves with pressure man-to-man defense. Shamunga finding Watson. And now Shamunga will reset the offense for the Nighthawks. This is a Nighthawks offense that has a slow pace of play. These teams last met in early February, a 15-point win for the Braves. Steeple cashes in a 3, and he gives the Nighthawks their first lead of the game. 17:44 remaining in the first half.
Yeah, he's a microwave guy. When he gets hot, he is hot. So UNCP will have to keep him in check after hitting that shot.
Pruitt for 3. Yes. First 3 of the game for Akia Pruitt, and he gives his team back a 2-point edge.
He's such a phenomenal player, all facets of the game, and that 3-point shot continues to come along.
Watson, now to Cottrell, 12 to shoot. Steeple. In the corner. That's an air ball. Rebound by Ratliff. Now to Strother. Another 3 for Pruitt. That's no good. And the rebound by Shamunga. Shamunga third in the entire country in steals. He goes coast to coast to tie this game at 5.
And he's also really strong and does a great job getting to the basket. That's where he gets most of his buckets, inside.
They feed Pruitt in the lane, and the hook shot's good. Akia Pruitt's in rhythm. That's his third made field goal of the game, and then he gives the Braves back a 2-point edge.
Yeah, do a nice job. You saw him hit the 3, then he gets an opportunity inside. If you're North Georgia, you can't let him get that deep in the paint because he'll score on you.
There's a walk that's not called, and Watson gets the floater to fall to tie this one at 7. A questionable possession, to say the least, and some Braves fans are frustrated. Strother tries to answer, and he does. Beyond the arc for David Strother. A 3-point edge for the Braves 4 minutes into this first half.
Yeah, he's the guy who we highlighted pregame, the guy who makes this offense work at times, and good to see him getting started early.
Watson finding Minor in the corner. Now this finds Shamunga driving in the lane. Shamunga off glass, no good. And another defensive rebound by Jordan Ratliff. One of the smallest guys on the floor, but he knows how to get up and grab a board. Mounts with 18 to shoot, driving on Watson. There's going to be a foul on the floor. Looks like it's going to be on Watson. That's his first and the second team foul for the Nighthawks of North Georgia. We come to our first media timeout. Braves up 10-7. You're watching the Peach Belt quarterfinals right here on the UNCP Sports Network. Welcome back out of the under 16 media timeout. Dave Lynn alongside John Gross. John, Braves up 10-7, and they're feeding their big man, Akia Pruitt.
Yeah, he can score in a whole bunch of different ways. Good things happen when you put the ball in his hands, and he's, especially as the season has progressed, has had some big assist games too. Really good passer, and the biggest thing that he brings to the table right now, he's been there before. He's played in these games as a senior.
Checking in is another senior in Micah Kinsey, as well as Pruitt misses that field goal, but the Braves get the offensive rebound. Strother for 3, no good. Another offensive rebound, this time by Akia Pruitt. 3 more rebounds, he's got 1,000 for his career. Kinsey resets the offense. They look for Levi, as there's a man-to-man look by the Nighthawks. Pick from Levi, Ratliff goes to the lane, and that ball sails out of bounds. 2 seconds to go, and that's the third or fourth time in this game where the Braves have a very low shot clock.
Have to give credit to North Georgia early on, forcing UNCP to work deep.
Kinsey to inbound, finds Levi under the basket. The runner goes, and the foul. Spencer Levi checking in, a high-energy forward. He's had double digits in 4 of his last 5 games.
Another guy who can score inside and can also put the ball on the floor and get to the hole. But you look at this, the 5 guys on the floor. I love this lineup from Coach Jones. A lineup that can certainly run, that's very explosive, and I expect them to start pressing. Yep.
Levi, the St. Louis native, cashes in on the three-point play. It'll be a foul on Lawnre Olatuni. Tight defense by the Braves. Cottrell with 16 to shoot. They feed Zach Brown in the corner, and it's taken away by the Braves. Ratliff with a full steam ahead gets blocked by Zach Brown.
Good defense by Brown there, but going back to the other end, Micah Kinsey did a great job. He saw Ratliff was trying to front Olatunji inside, came from the weak side with the help defense. It's little things like that as a senior, he's able to pick up that maybe some younger guys wouldn't have.
Cottrell takes a rest. Shamunga checks back in for the Nighthawks. Also in is KJ Jenkins as Ratliff mishandles the inbounds pass. Luckily, it's in the hands of Spencer Levi. 15 to shoot for the Braves, and they'll reset. Pruitt on the wing. Finds Ratliff. Over to Kinsey. 3 to shoot. Kinsey between the leg dribble. And that's going to be a 30-second shot clock violation. Good defense there by the Nighthawks, coming in as one of the best defenses in the Peach Belt Conference.
And they just continue to make UNCP work deep. They're chasing him off the three-point line and have great rotation defensively.
Here's the 1-2-2 full court press. Trapped in the corner was Shamunga, but the Nighthawks will get it over half court. Shamunga gets it stripped away, gets the basketball back. Finds Snyers, and that triple is good by Darnell Snyers.
You can't give him any space. He's one of the best three-point shooters in the conference. We've seen it all year long from Snyers, the native of Belgium.
Yes, sir. 42% from beyond the arc is Snyers. Levi in the lane. Turnaround off glass and in. The St. Louis native gets on the board again, extending the Braves' lead to 5. But the Nighthawks beat the Braves' press. Shamunga in the lane. They look for Olatunji on the block, stolen away by Struther. Struther now handles the dribble as they feed Pruitt in the lane. Pruitt off balance, yes sir. Akia Pruitt scoring at will for the Braves, and it's a 17-10 advantage.
And this is a guy who wants it. You can just tell the way he has gone to work early here, not being passive offensively, taking this game into his own hands.
A tight man-to-man defense by the Braves. Olatunji. He'll find Brown towards the top of the circle. Now a triple from Shamunga, and that's good. Ephraim Shamunga, a 14% shooter from beyond the arc, knocked in his 4th triple of the season.
Yeah, that's not in the scouting report right there that Shamunga is going to start hitting threes. UNCP can live with that shot from Shamunga.
Ball tipped out of bounds by the Nighthawks. Braves will bring in some fresh legs. Both Kirk brothers and Jay Bree Bullard checking in for the first time today. Sean Kirk as well as Tyrell Kirk, along with Levi and Micah Kinsey. So 4 of the 5 on the floor for the Braves, the second unit for this Brave squad.
Make sure to go vote, darkhorsedunker.com. Vote for Sean Kirk.
Yes, sir. Currently with a 1% advantage in the Final Four of that Dark Horse Dunker contest. Here's Bullard on the wing, finding Kirk. He'll swing it over to his brother Tyrell. Levi outside the block with 1 to shoot, and that's another 30-second shot clock violation. Braves need to be cognizant of the shot clock, and if you're Coach Jones, you're displeased with that possession.
For sure. For sure. They're just not getting good looks, and that's really a credit to the defense that the Nighthawks have been playing.
Jenkins picks up his dribble, and they find Caleb Malden. Or, excuse me, Bailey Minor. Triple threat inside. They'll kick it back out. Faking a three and not making that is Zach Brown, but an offensive board. Jenkins tries to shrug off Kinsey. Brown, kick out. Jenkins, straight away three, that's no good. Rebound by Kinsey. In the corner for Tyrell Kirk. No good. Fighting for that offensive board is Micah Kinsey in a fresh 20 for the Braves. Levi wants the ball off the block. Sets a pick for Bullard. He rolls. Bullard couldn't give it to him right away. Levi with a bounce. And he'll head to the line for two as we head to the under 12 immediate timeout. The fourth team foul on the Nighthawks, and the first one by Bailey Minor. 17-13 Braves lead, 11-10 to go. You're watching the Peach Belt quarterfinals right here on the UNCP Sports Network.
A nurse at Scotland Health is
a healer, touching patients' lives at every turn.
An ally, working as a trusted teammate with the best doctors. A blower of bubbles, part child whisperer, part kid at heart.
A winner, recognizing excellence through Daisy Awards.
And of course, a caring friend. Scotland Health nurses are many things to many people. But to us, they're simply better by far.
Welcome back to the Jones Center on the campus of UNC Pembroke. Dave Nguyen alongside John Gross. John, a 4-point edge for the Braves, but we got to give the Nighthawks credit. They've held the Braves to 3 30-second shot clock violations.
They have, and UNCP's ran through their offense and hasn't gotten any looks. The Braves have to be a little bit, I don't know the exact way to put it, because North Georgia's played great defensively, but determined offensively. We saw Levi in the last possession, got the basketball, and just went right to work. That's what we have to see from UNCP to match up this defense.
Levi is 60% free throw shooter, 0 for 1 in this trip. Now he's 1 of 2. 2 of 3 overall in the game so far for Spencer Levi, and he gives his team a 5-point advantage. Full court man-to-man defense by the Braves in the hands of Snyers. They find Shamunga. Watson, backdoor cut for Jenkins. And Jenkins was fouled. It's going to be a foul on Micah Kinsey, his first, and that's the first team foul for the Braves in this half.
I think it's important to note, too, North Georgia, they're playing for their lives. It's do or die for them at this point. They're not in line to make the NCAA tournament. They need to win to keep their season going.
Watson on the block. They'll swing it around. 15 to shoot. Driving is Shamunga. Blocked by Levi, but in the hands of Minor. Now Jenkins drives, kicks, saved by Shamunga. Watson tried to find Darnell Snyers. Ball sailing out of bounds. Snyers checks out. Steeples checks in. Zez Steeple, the junior from Columbia, South Carolina. One of 3 players averaging in double figures for this Nighthawks offense. Steeple to inbound with 3 to shoot. Shamunga drives baseline, and that is swatted out of bounds. That's going to be a 30-second shot clock violation on North Georgia. Good job defensively by the Braves.
I've never seen a block shot go that far. That literally went to the top of the student section, almost hit some fans up there.
Levi playing with determination to get this victory. Bullard feeds Levi off the block. Kirk, free throw line jumper, no good, and Steeple climbs the ladder. Zez Steeple feeds Shamunga and on the wing. An open lane for Watson, and he'll be going to the line for 2. A minor defensive breakdown by the Braves. Watson takes advantage of the open lane, gets fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2.
I just want to go back to that block shot for a second, too, because when it was blocked, there was still about a second or two left in the shot clock. But because it went so far and took so long to actually hit something, the refs could blow their whistle. It hit the wall at the top of the student section bleachers, and anyone who's been to the Jones Center knows that's a pretty far ways off from the floor. So because it didn't hit anything until then, the clock kept running, and that was the violation.
First of 2 free throws is no good for Karad Watson, a 65% free throw shooter on the season. Levi playing wall ball on that block moments ago. Yeah. Watson, the senior from Cartersville, Georgia, goes 0 for 2. Sean Kirk with the rebound. He'll feed his brother Tyrell in front of the North Georgia sideline. Tyrell feeds his brother Sean in the lane. That's no good, but you got to appreciate the hustle by Spencer Levi. Kinsey needs to get out of the corner, and he does so with the dribble. 12 to shoot for the Braves. Pick from Levi. Kinsey couldn't handle the basketball. Feeds Sean Kirk on the baseline. Turnaround jumper for Sean Kirk, no good. Spencer Levi fights for another board. Sean Kirk 3, no good. Hustle by Spencer Levi made all that happen.
It's this bench group just full of energy. That's what their job is when they're coming into the game.
Steeple thinking 3. Now we'll circle it back out. Minor over to Cottrell, checking back in. Kinsey wanted to steal that one. Instead, play solid defense on Steeple. 10 to shoot for the Nighthawks. Shamunga feeding Watson, and that's an easy layup for the big man.
He's doing a good job inside. Whenever you let really any big man at this level of basketball get that deep into the paint, they're typically skilled enough to make a move and finish inside.
Kinsey attacking baseline. Bullard fakes 3. Drives. Kicks. Open 3 for Tyrell Kirk. No good. Sean Kirk with the offensive board.
He just snatched that thing.
9th offensive rebound for the Braves. 12 to shoot. Tyrell Kirk attacking. Kinsey, open 3, no good. Rebound by Shamunga. Finds Watson, and then he gets the basketball back. Braves are getting their open looks on this Nighthawk defense. The perimeter shots aren't falling through in their last few offensive possessions.
And those will come. They will.
Watson finds Steeple on the wing. 9 to shoot for the Nighthawks. Steeple feeds Minor in the corner for 3, and that's good. Bailey Minor has tied this game at 18, and the Braves are 0 for their last 7 field goal attempts.
Both teams playing good defense.
Bullard, heat check 3, no good. Trying to fight for that offensive board was Levi. He looks gassed. Steeple. Cottrell for 3, no good. And slowing it up is Micah Kinsey. 3 more Braves set to check in at the next whistle.
They'll pretty much have the starting lineup in there. They need points.
Levi was fouled on the floor before the dump by Sean Kirk. Tie game at 18 in the quarterfinals of the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. We've reached the under 8 media timeout. Back after this on the UNCP Sports Network.
A wise person once said, if you give a man a wild-caught, perfectly seasoned Bojangler fried fish fillet sandwich with tangy tartar sauce and American cheese, you can feed him for a day. But if you teach a man that he should get 2 of them because it really is that good, you can go ahead and feed yourself too. After all, you probably deserve it. Get a tasty, flaky Bojangler fish fillet sandwich right now at Bojangles. It's Bo time.
Welcome inside the Jones Center on the campus of UNC Pembroke. Dave Nguyen alongside John Gross. John, we have a tie game at 18 and a defensive struggle early on in this first half.
At this point of the game, to only have 18 points, if you're UNCP, that means your opponent's doing a great job defensively. The Braves have attempted 8 more field goals, but they've made the same amount of field goals as North Georgia. But these shots will start falling for UNCP. They're just too good of an offensive team to not be able to score.
Starting 5 back on the floor for the Braves. Tyrell Kirk wanted to feed Carson Mounts on the pick and roll. Strother attacking. Turnaround jumper. That's good. David Strother with his 5th point of the game, giving his team a 2-point edge.
In that possession, UNCP played with a purpose. They have to do that every possession. Good attack by Strother.
Shamunga trying to answer for the Nighthawks. 15 to shoot. Shamunga attacks with the left hand. Off glass and in. Shamunga scoring at will for the Nighthawks. That's his 7th points of the game.
Talked about it before. He's just so strong.
Pruitt outside the block. Backs down Minor. Turnaround jumper. That's good. Akia Pruitt with 9 points. And this has been a back and forth affair in the past couple of minutes.
And he's doing everything he can to propel his team. But it's good to see the last couple of possessions for UNCP, that offense starting to get going again.
Cottrell finds Shamunga between the circles. Shamunga drives, and he was looking for the layup or a foul. Instead, the ball goes out of bounds. It'll remain North Georgia basketball as a couple fresh bodies for the Nighthawks check in, including leading scorer KJ Jenkins, the redshirt freshman from Canton, Georgia. Darnell Snyers also checks in. 10 to shoot for the Nighthawks. Steeple finds Jenkins. 5 to shoot. Jenkins, heat check 3. No good. Rebound by Strother. Strother pushing the ball up quickly. The catalyst of this offense. Pruitt finds Tyrell Kirk. He rolls. Pruitt, jumper. Yes, sir. The senior leader willing his team to victory so far today. It's a 4-point edge for the Braves.
And they're riding him. It's the only offense they've been able to get. He has just about half of UNCP's points so far.
Akia Pruitt with a game-high 11 points. Jenkins, off-balance shot is no good. Here comes Strother. Braves don't have numbers, and Strother almost gets it poked away by Jenkins. In the corner, open 3 for Tyrell Kirk. That's no good. Snyers snags the board. Snyers goes downhill, tries to feed Olatunji, and that's in.
Fast break basketball. Those long shots result in long rebounds, and if you can't get back defensively, typically the other team will have fast breaks.
Tyrell Kirk feeds Ratliff off a curl screen. Ratliff uses the mount screen, tries to attack, and it's called for a walk.
And that whole time, there was a hand in his back. I don't know how that's not a foul, but...
That's another questionable call that we've had in this game so far. Nonetheless, it's a turnover on the Braves. Nighthawks basketball. Braves will go with the 1-2-2. Full court pressure. Now straight up man-to-man. Ratliff guarding Steeple. Olatunji finds Snyers, and there's a foul, an offensive foul on the Nighthawks. Looks like it's going to be a foul on Olatunji on the screen. It's the 6th team foul for North Georgia and the 2nd on Lonre Olatunji. The scouting report says that the 3-point defense by North Georgia is 11th of 12 in the Peach Belt Conference. So that might be one of the reasons why the Braves have shot a lot of threes. The Braves right now are 2 of 11 from beyond the arc. Strother, an 18-footer is good.
You mentioned those threes. They've had open looks. That's just been UNCP missing them. They'll fall come the second half. They'll fall.
Minor getting the pass from Snyers. Trying to look backdoor. Jenkins attacks off glass. Can't get the layup to fall. Kinsey pushing the ball up the floor.
Ooh, Ratliff wanted the alley-oop down there.
Yes, he did. Mounts. Finds Ratliff. Ratliff likes attacking downhill. Give and go to Mounts. Hook shot in the lane. That's good. All the shots that have been shot in the lane by the Braves have been successful.
Yeah, just good attack there by Carson Mounts. He's 6'10", but he's not afraid to put the ball on the floor and get to the hole.
Braves went from 0 for 7 from the floor to making 5 of their last 6. 15 to shoot for North Georgia. Steeple fakes 3, drives on Ratliff, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's that jump step and then the pump fake that got Ratliff on the foul as we head to the under 4 media timeout. Braves have made 5 of their last 6 field goals and hold a 6-point lead. You're watching the Peach Belt quarterfinals right here on the UNCP Sports Network.
The town of Pembroke, incorporated in 1895, is a proud community rich in heritage. Pembroke is a quaint but growing town regarded as the social, political, cultural, and commercial center for the Lumbee tribe, the largest American Indian tribe east of the Mississippi River with over 58,000 members. The town hosts a variety of events during the year, none larger than Lumbee Homecoming, which annually brings in over 30,000 visitors. We welcome you to visit our unique town and encourage you to read and learn more about Pembroke.
Welcome back to Lumbee Guarantee Bank Court, home of the UNC Pembroke Braves. Dave Nguyen alongside Jonathan Gross. John, a defensive game that we've seen in a majority of this first half, and rightfully so. We have 2 of the top 3 scoring defenses in the Peach Belt Conference. Braves allowing only 72 points per contest, North Georgia only allowing 77.
And especially when you turn from the regular season to the postseason, that defensive intensity goes from maybe a 7 to a 10, without a doubt. And as we talked about before, this is North Georgia playing for their season. Lose and they're done.
Steeple to the line, and he makes the free throw. Steeple goes 1 of 2. Struther. Ratliff. Find Pruitt. Pruitt with a game-high 11. They look for Levi in the paint. It's a kick ball. He'll maintain a Braves possession.
It also ups the shot clock to 20 seconds, so UNCP can continue to work for a good shot. We've seen them rushed really throughout this first half offensively to try to force some late shot clock shots. Now we'll see if they can get some a little earlier.
Kinsey trying to feed Pruitt. He's fouled on the entry. And we'll head to the 7th team foul. 1-on-1 opportunity for Akia Pruitt. It's a foul on Zach Brown. That's his first. 7th team foul by North Georgia. Akia Pruitt to the line for 1-and-1. And he misses the first free throw in that attempt. Rebound by Snyers. Akia Pruitt, a 61% free throw shooter. Shamunga trying to attack the teeth of the defense. They'll swing it over to Snyers in the corner. Stolen away by Ratliff. Ratliff downhill, attacks. That's no good. Good hustle by Levi to keep that possession. Pruitt feeling it in the corner. Yes, sir. 14 points for the big man. And it's a timeout for North Georgia. The senior leader doing everything he can for his team. Right now they're up 7. Akia Pruitt just scoring at will, making almost every basket he's shot today. He's 6 of 8 from the floor, and that's his second made three-pointer.
When he's hitting those threes, it only makes it tougher to stop him because the game plan against Akia is don't let him get the basketball within 10 feet of the hoop. So, all right, you're fine letting him get the ball 20 feet away from the hoop. And then when he's shooting this well, you're going to have to stretch out and he'll blow right past you. That's the great thing about having somebody like him. He's a big-bodied guy, especially for this conference, physical guy, but he's so quick, so athletic, and just so fundamentally sound that he can really do it all on the court, and there's truthfully no way to slow him down.
Came in as a defensive player, and throughout his 4 years at Brave Nation, he's really developed a good offensive game that's clearly showing here today. Braves applying some four-court pressure. Steeple gets the ball over the logo. There's a foul on the Braves. Looks like it'll be on David Strother. Shamunga caught that pass off balance and will maintain possession with the Nighthawks. 2:28 to go in the first half. Braves up 7.
And they bring in Tyrell Kirk. We'll see if he can get back going. First game back. And obviously such an important part of this offense.
The 11th ranked three-point shooter in the Peach Belt Conference in Tyrell Kirk. Steeple picks up his dribble, and they'll find Brown trying to back down Levi. Minor collects the basketball, 3 to shoot, a deep 3 that's no good, and Tyrell Kirk climbs the ladder. Strother, straight away 3, that's open, and that can't fall. Levi with the hustle, and he's going to go to the line for 2. That's probably the 7th or 8th time we've seen Spencer Levi crash the offensive glass in this game so far.
Yeah, and you look at what UNCP's done on the offensive glass all game long, already double-figure offensive boards. And that, most of the time, is just effort. Because North Georgia, we've seen how well they play defensively. It's not like they're not boxing out, but UNCP is doing everything they can to crash the boards, just get fingertips, get hands in the basketball, and good things happen when you do that.
Levi to the line. He's 2 of 3 so far from the charity stripe in this game. Make it 3 of 4. The St. Louis native shooting 60% from the line this year.
This final minute 57 will kind of dictate the message for these two coaches at the half.
Levi converts 2 of 2. Braves maintain full court pressure. Shamunga finding Snyers. Over to Steeple. Now back to Shamunga, attacking in the lane. He feeds a wide open Olatunji.
Unselfish extra pass to lead to the easy dunk.
Ratliff over to Strother. They feed Pruitt, who's got 14. Tyrell Kirk. Strother, 3, no good. Rebound by Pruitt. Strother. Tyrell Kirk, he wants a triple. That's no good. Levi with another offensive rebound, but it's in the hands of Snyers. Snyers pushes the ball up the floor. Loose ball, bodies on the floor. Ratliff seems to have it. And they're going to call a jump ball, possession arrow in favor of the Nighthawks. Gotta love the hustle on the floor by Jordan Ratliff right there to try to corral that possession.
Without a doubt. And that's one thing you have to love about the way UNCP is playing. They're playing as the 1 seed, but they don't care. They've talked about that all season long, playing with that target on their back. They know everyone's going to give them the best that they have. UNCP, though, maintaining what they've done all year. Scrappy basketball. We've seen it in the offensive glass, and they receive with Ratliff on the floor.
Shamunga fakes the handoff to Steeple. Finds Minor. And to Olatunji at the top of the key. Olatunji picked up his dribble. He was looking for a teammate in Minor on the wing. Throws that one away. And the Braves will try to take advantage of the Nighthawk turnover.
And that's a good situation to go 2 for 1. Want to try to maximize your possessions. And especially because we've seen UNCP have to take so many shots late in games. And Akia Pruitt will be checked on now by Joey Tamburo. Might have, let's see, a little bit of blood.
Looks like Bailey Minor may have gotten a scratch on his elbow. We'll keep it right here for this brief timeout. Coming into this game, the Braves, you knew they had a high-powered offense, one of the top 2 scoring offenses in the entire conference. And even though the Nighthawks have a slow pace of play on the offensive end, their defense has really carried them throughout this first half.
It's carried them throughout this first half. It's carried them throughout the season. This is what Dan Evans' group does. his first year as a head coach, and a lot of times when you see new head coaches come in, they're not always the best offensive teams, but they do preach is grit, intensity, attitude, and that really, those three words really all apply to defense. And we've seen that today. The intensity has been through the roof defensively for North Georgia.
Pruitt, handoff to Strother. Strother picks up his dribble. He'll swing it over to Ratliff. Pick from Levi, he rolls. Ratliff filling a three, that's no good. And the rebound by Shamunga. Ephraim Shamunga came in today as the third most steals in the entire country with 83. Shamunga gets back the basketball with 15 to shoot. Drives, picks up his dribble, and they find Jenkins. Jenkins, between the leg dribble, attacks, blocked by Strother. Into the hands of Shamunga with 5 to shoot. Shamunga looking for a teammate on the block. And they're going to call a foul on the Braves. He was looking for Zach Brown on the block. And just before the shot clock expired, Zach Brown apparently was fouled by David Strother.
Yeah, late shot clock foul there, but now Brown will have a chance to shoot two and get a couple of points here for North Georgia with just 5.5 seconds to go, which is still plenty of time for UNCP to go the length of the floor and score.
Zach Brown, the native of Princeton, New Jersey, attended Rutgers Prep for high school. He's 0 for 1 in this trip. Second free throw by Brown is good. That's the second personal foul on David Strother, and head coach Tony Jones calls a 30-second timeout. In situations like these, you have at least one inbounds play to go the full length of the court. Teams practice possessions like these all the time. Let's see what head coach Tony Jones draws up.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be shocked if we see Dan Evans maybe press a bit here, or at least play some dummy press and try to force UNCP to pick up the basketball early if the Braves do try to roll the ball. But like you said, Dave, teams have plays for this situation, and 5.5 seconds is ample time. Sometimes you'll see teams just inbound the ball and just go. Even with 2 seconds to go, you can run a play to get open. But
it's interesting to see who's going to inbound, because sometimes in these situations, you want to guard the inbound so you can give the ball right back to him. Strother inbounds to Tyrell Kirk. Kirk ahead to Pruitt. Pruitt to Tyrell Kirk, and he stepped out of bounds before driving to the basket. I like that play design. It's a shame that Tyrell Kirk stepped out of bounds.
0.9, just no fouls if you're the Braves.
Shamunga heaves it up, and we've reached halftime here at the Jones Center. The number 1 seeded UNCP Braves, a 6-point lead at halftime. We'll come back with some stats as well as halftime stories. You're watching the Peach Belt Conference Tournament right here on the UNCP Sports Network.
When a hospital invests in technology, skilled hands and keen eyes have new tools for diagnosing disease and making people better. At Scotland, we were the first in the region to provide 3D mammograms and robotic joint surgery, and the only hospital in the region to collaborate with Duke Health to offer both radiation and medical oncology for cancer patients. At Scotland, we invest in the newest technology for one simple reason: to deliver you closer care that's better by far.
It's a 6-point lead for the UNCP Braves in their 1-8 matchup of the Peach Belt Conference Tournament against the North Georgia Nighthawks. Welcome back into the broadcast booth. Dave Nguyen alongside Jonathan Gross. John, it's been a defensive battle back and forth between these two teams.
Which is, I think, what we expected coming in. It's tournament time. Teams turn things up a notch. And maybe a little surprised the UNCP has struggled to shoot the basketball as much as they have. But the fact that it's low scoring at this point, can't say I'm too shocked about it.
The Braves are 3 of 14 from beyond the arc. They came in with the scouting report as the Nighthawks of North Georgia are 11th of 12 in terms of three-point defense. And so far, the Braves have only made 3 from beyond the arc.
And that's been the issue. North Georgia has done a good job of working them into some late forced shots and possessions, and that's forced UNCP in response to kind of scramble a bit. They've had plenty of open looks from deep. I'd say out of those, 11 or so misses they've had, half of them have been fairly open. So those shots will start falling come the second half, and I think if you're Tony Jones, the message to your team is, listen, we played one of our worst offensive halves of the season just now, and we're still up by 6 points. Keep up the defensive intensity. Let's hit some shots.
A man who's leading the way for the Braves is Akia Pruitt with 14 points. In terms of our players to watch in the beginning of this game, KJ Jenkins, who normally averages 13 points a game for the Nighthawks, has been held scoreless in the first half. As to David Struther, he has 7. He's become very efficient from the floor, shooting 50%. We'll see if that trend continues for the Braves here in the second half. We'll be back after this momentarily. You're watching the Peach Belt Quarterfinals right here on the UNCP Sports Network.
What goes through your thought process when trying to execute a dunk?
Well, for the most part, it's all about getting open. And once you get open and you see someone coming towards you to jump, to contest, whenever I jump, I just have one goal, and that's trying to get the ball in the rim. One goal only.
Now your challenge is to dunk over one of the broadcasters at UNC Pembroke. How confident are you in dunking over Dave, who is standing at 5'8"?
1 to 10. that should be pretty easy. I feel very confident on accomplishing that goal.
Welcome back to the Jones Center. Dave Nguyen alongside Jonathan Gross. A 6-point edge for the Braves as we have started the second half. Struther finds Tyrell Kirk in the corner, 12 to shoot for the Braves. Mounts, double team. Open 3 for Tyrell Kirk. He was fouled. A 4-point play for Tyrell Kirk.
Well, we were just talking about it. Those threes are going to fall. And oftentimes, threes come in multiples. So you hit one, it's like a yawn. It's contagious. And I think we're going to see the next couple of threes fall, and especially for Kirk to get fouled on it as well. A chance for the rare 4-point play.
Kirk's first points of the game. And he converts on the 4-point play. 4 points for Tyrell Kirk. His first made field goal. He's now 1 for 5. Braves bring some full court pressure. Steeple finds Shamunga. Shamunga leading the way for the Nighthawks with 7 points. Watson. Fake the handoff to Minor. Backdoor cut to Steeple. He was trying to find Cottrell in the corner, now finds him, and Cottrell's 3 rattles home. A very rim-rattling home 3. Cottrell gets the friendly roll.
They got a nice chunk of the backboard as well. A bank-in 3 from the corner.
Kick ball, and Cottrell comes away with the loose ball. Minor finds Steeple, attacking in the lane, pulls up, and that jumper is no good. Struther ultimately trying to come up with the ball, and he does with his teammate Ratliff right behind him. Another 3 for Tyrell Kirk. He's 2 for 2.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Once one goes down, you see the ball go through the basket, then it'll keep rolling.
Tyrell Kirk was 0 for 4 in the first half, 2 for 2 so far in the second half. 10-point edge for the Braves. Shamunga attacking on David Struther, That's going to be the third personal foul on David Struther. Let's see if Tony Jones will allow his junior point guard to play. Looks like Micah Kinsey's going to check in for him. I think that's a smart move, even though Struther was trying to find a rhythm here in the second half. You're going to need him down the stretch.
Absolutely, and there's really no drop-off at all with Micah Kinsey coming in for him. A bit of a different player than Struther, but equally as efficient. And
Shimunga misses the first, a 54% free throw shooter on the season. Coming off a double-double at Clayton State, 21 points and 11 rebounds. He makes one of two. 9-point edge for the Braves. And it's good that they have a guy like Micah Kinsey on the floor. Guy who's been in the program for 4 years, knows what it's like to play in these kind of moments. Pruitt, spinning, backing out, keeping the basketball. Backs down Minor. Here's a jumper that's no good here's Ratliff. Yes, sir. The jumper no good by Carson Mounts, but Ratliff cleans up the mess.
And now this offense is starting to get going. Could follow again the offensive glass.
Watson finds Steeple between the circles. Steeple drives, and there's Mounts with the board. Ratliff finding Mounts. Tyrell Kirk, who's got the hot hand. Mounts off the give and go. Spins in the lane. Hook shot, no good. And the rebound by Shimunga. 1-on-3. Steeple. Corner three. No good. Kinsey skies for the board. Kinsey trying to weave through traffic. Circles it back out. Now attacks. Up and under. No good with the follow. No good by Mounts. But the Braves keep on attacking on the offensive glass. There's going to be a foul called on the Braves. But good hustle there this time by Carson Mounts.
It's now 15 offensive rebounds. The Braves have more offensive rebounds than the Nighthawks have total rebounds. At this point in a basketball game, I don't know if I've ever seen that.
29-13 rebounding margin in favor of the Braves. There's a foul on Jordan Ratliff, his second personal foul, and the second team foul for the Braves here in the second half. Shimunga finds Cottrell. Back to Shimunga in the corner. Olatunji setting up in the lane. His layup's no good. Contested by Pruitt and Mounts, who loses the basketball. Once again, good defense there by North Georgia, and they slow things up. Traditionally a slow-paced offensive team. A team that averages 75 points per game. Minor finds Cottrell in front of the Nighthawk sideline. 10 to shoot. Minor, 5 to shoot. Jenkins attacks with the left hand. Blocked by Mounts. Pruitt cleans up the glass. Ratliff. 3. No. Yes! Could have sworn that one was going to fall out of the rim, but Jordan Ratliff gets the friendly roll, and it's a 14-point edge for the Braves.
Nice little home court bounce.
And we got a timeout by North Georgia. The Nighthawks are in a scoring drought of 2 minutes and 29 seconds. Akia Pruitt now with 5 rebounds, 1,000 rebounds for his career. Akia Pruitt now with 1,000 career points and 1,000 career rebounds. That is a feat that is unheard of here in this conference.
Never happened before in the Peach Belt Conference.
As we congratulate the wrestling team as the Southeast Regional Champions over the weekend. John, you had a chance to see the wrestling team last week. Just from your perspective, this accomplishment by head coach O.T. Johnson and his entire crew.
Incredible. They've won their conference. They win the Southeast Regional, sending a bunch of guys to nationals as well. And just a testament to the hard work these guys go through. You know, you were there at one of those practices, those 5 a.m. weight lifts, 5 a.m. practice, and only the second regional title in UNC Pembroke athletics history for any sport. And we want to give a big shout out to Jonathan Miller and his final season in the wrestling squad. Really talented wrestler, really talented mass communications major as well, who is one of our camera operators for this broadcast. He's headed back up to help us out. But congratulations all around to a great group.
100%. We said coming out of halftime that the Braves are going to respond. They were a little sloppy on the offensive end. They were only 4 of 13 for 3. Since then, they're 6 of 19. A couple of those triples by Tyrell Kirk, and that last one by Jordan Ratliff looked like the basketball was falling out. Instead, found the friendly roll.
Yeah, that's why you need to put a little extra on it. It's better to put too much power on it than not enough. At least it gives you a chance to knock down the shot.
North Georgia currently 0 for the last 5 field goal attempts and a scoring drought of 2.5 minutes. Jenkins. They find Olatunji backing down Levi. Olatunji in the lane. Hook shot no good. And there's another board for Spencer Levi. Kinsey. Levi. They find Tyrell Kirk. Kinsey to reset the offense. Ratliff. Finding Levi, thought he was fouled. Instead, coming up with the loose ball, Zach Brown. Jenkins drives on Ratliff. Off glass, and that's good. Jenkins, who was scoreless in the first half, now has his first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 7 from the floor. Kinsey over to Pruitt. Got the hot hand. Kinsey fakes 3. Between the leg dribble. Pruitt wants the basketball. Outside of the block. Backing down Brown. Reverse layup is good for the big man. 16 points, 7 of 9 from the floor for the senior.
That is a next level move right there. Footwork and an athletic finish.
Jenkins trying to feed Olatunji on the baseline. The ball will sail out of bounds. We'll head to the under 16 media timeout. Braves up 47-33 and the quarterfinals of the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. We'll be back after this on the UNCP Sports Network.
A wise person once said, if you give a man a wild-caught, perfectly seasoned Bojangler fried fish fillet sandwich with tangy tartar sauce and American cheese, you can feed him for a day. But if you teach a man that he should get 2 of them because it really is that good, you can go ahead and feed yourself too. After all, you probably deserve it. Get a tasty, flaky Bojangler fish fillet sandwich right now at Bojangles. It's Bo time.
Welcome back to the Jones Center on the campus of UNC Pembroke. Dave Nguyen alongside Jonathan Gross. The Braves have a 47-33 lead over the 8-seeded North Georgia Nighthawks. Braves, the 1 seed in the Peach Belt Conference Tournament for the first time in the program's history, winning the outright Peach Belt Conference title. This is a bit of uncharted territory for the Braves as the 1 seed. And right now, John, these are the most important 4 minutes for North Georgia's season.
They cannot afford to fall behind by any more than this.
Pruitt, they'll find Micah Kinsey driving on the baseline. 1 more pass, 2 more passes. Bullard fakes 3, drives, kicks. Pruitt, straight away 3, gets the friendly roll. Akia Pruitt with 19 and his 3rd triple in this game.
And all these bounces going in for the Braves. It's a different team in this second half.
Not the first time the Braves have had the friendly roll in today's game. We saw Jordan Ratliff's 3 earlier fall out and then fall back in. Steal by Tyrell Kirk. He's got numbers. Pruitt, Kinsey, adjusts, no good. Bullard with the board. Tyrell Kirk wants it again. Another board by Akia Pruitt, and he gets fouled. Offensive rebounds right now, John, 17-2, and that's the 34th total rebound by the Braves today.
And UNC Pembroke will end up with more than 20 offensive rebounds. That is an unbelievable mark right there. And you want to talk about why the Braves are winning this game? Sure, they've hit some threes the second half, but that rebounding margin, specifically in the offensive glass, is putting them in front.
Something that head coach Tony Jones preaches, defense and rebounding.
Yep.
If we limit the turnovers, have a couple of them our way to turn into transition buckets, and win the rebounding margin, that's our formula for success. Levi with 15 to shoot. Hands it off to Kinsey. Bullard fakes three. They feed Levi on the block. Levi backs down Minor in the lane and gets the friendly roll. Big bucket there for the St. Louis native.
And again, anytime any of these Braves bigs get that deep in the lane, they will score.
Steeple tries to answer. Minor in the corner for three. No good. Another board for Ikea Pruitt.
Good closeout by Bullard.
Tyrell Kirk, who had a couple triples earlier in this half. Finds Pruitt. He's feeling it. Yes, sir! 21 points for Ikea Pruitt. Timeout, North Georgia. That's a 14-2 run for the Braves over the last 5 minutes. They've had 5 of their last 7 field goal attempts, and everything is going their way for the home team.
It's been Ikea Pruitt. Ikea Pruitt hitting shots from all different spots on the floor, and he's led this offense.
We'll take a quick timeout here. You're watching the Peach Belt quarterfinals right here on the UNCP Sports Network. I don't know about you, John, but Bravehawk seems to be busting a move. He's so excited. Braves currently have a 54-33 lead. In the first half, it was a 6-point game, but the Braves have come out on all cylinders here in the second half offensively.
Now outscoring North Georgia 21-6 so far in the first 7 minutes, 12 seconds.
Minor gets the inbounds pass. They find Zach Brown. Attacking is Shamunga in the corner to Minor. Steeple, Jenkins. One dribble for three. No good. Good job there by Ikea Pruitt to contest the triple on Jenkins. Nighthawks with the basketball. Snyers to inbound. They find a wide open cutting Shamunga. And that breaks the 9-0 run for the Braves. Levi. Tyrell Kirk, he's feeling it. Yes, sir. The third triple in the second half for Tyrell Kirk. And it's been all Braves.
Yeah, slowly but surely, those threes falling.
Snyers attacks. Stolen by Tyrell Kirk. He controls himself, finding Kinsey. Bullard, screen from Pruitt. Another three, why not? Tyrell Kirk heating up in this second half.
And Snyers has been to the ground the whole time under the basket, so they won't get a stop here.
We got an injury timeout, and we'll take a timeout as well. All Braves here in the second half. You're watching the Peach Belt quarterfinals right here on the UNCP Sports Network.
The town of Pembroke, incorporated in 1895, is a proud community rich in heritage. Pembroke is a quaint but growing town, regarded as the social, political, cultural, and commercial center for the Lumbee tribe, the largest American Indian tribe east of the Mississippi River with over 58,000 members. The town hosts a variety of events during the year, none larger than Lumbee Homecoming, which annually brings in over 30,000 visitors. We welcome you to visit our unique town and encourage you to read and learn more about Pembroke.
Brave Nation is shouting for joy right now here in the second half as the Braves are up 60-35. The 1 seed against the 8th seeded North Georgia Nighthawks right here at Lumbee Guarantee Bank Court. Dave Wynn alongside John Gross. John, after Tyrell Kirk was held scoreless in the first half, he was 0 for 4. He's now 4 of 9 from the field. All of those 3-pointers. He quickly now has 13.
And he's typically a high-volume shooter. Sometimes, at times this season, a little bit streaky, but we're seeing him really getting things going in the second half.
Jenkins, the leading scorer for the Nighthawks, was scoreless in the first half. Trying to find some sort of energy for this Nighthawk offense. Steeple feeding Shamunga in the corner for 3, and that's good. That ends the Braves' 6-0 run over the past 30 seconds of gameplay.
And looking over at the Braves coaching staff, again, a little perplexed that Shamunga's taking threes and making them. He's hit 2 now.
Shamunga with a team-high 13. Levi hands off to Bullard. Bullard to Levi. Hand off to Mike Kinsey. In the lane, Levi. Established position, reverse layup is good. Spencer Levi off the bench with 12 points. And it's a 62-38 lead for the Braves. Braves go man-to-man. Steeple attacking Tyrell Kirk. Off balance. He gets fouled by Tyrell Kirk, and he's going to go to the line for 2.
The only thing we haven't seen just yet in the second half is a Sean Kirk big dunk. So, Dave, I'm going to tell you right now, we will see a monster jam from Sean Kirk very soon.
And as you mentioned that, Sean Kirk in the Dark Horse Dunker Final Four.
Yep.
If you haven't voted for him, vote for him now. Vote for Sean Kirk at darkhorsedunker.com.
Yep.
And if he wins 2 more rounds, he will be selected to go to the College Slam Dunk Contest at the Final Four on ESPN. Steeple misses both from the charity stripe. Sean Kirk with the board. He attacks, kicks out to Strother, and Strother will reset. Sean Kirk wants the ball off the block. Levi, a 3. Yes! The 3rd made 3 of the season for Spencer Levi. And it's been all Braves.
I mean, who would have thought the UNCP would be outscoring North Georgia by 21 at this point of the half? Incredible stuff.
Cottrell over to Steeple. 15 to shoot. Steeple, Cottrell in the corner. Open 3. No good. An offensive board by Shamunga. Drives on Sean Kirk. Up and under. And he gets that bucket to fall.
Good move by Shamunga.
Levi. Hand off to Kinsey. Give and go. Yes, sir. Mike Kinsey with a nifty move. That's selfless basketball right there by Spencer Levi.
And just when North Georgia gets a big bucket, UNCP quickly responds.
Sean Kirk wanted the steal. Steeple. Kicks. Dean attacks in the lane. Off glass and in for the sophomore Tyler Dean from Rome, Georgia. Sean Kirk, 3. Yes! Everything is going for the Braves' way in the second half. That's the 8th made 3 in the second half for the Braves. They are 8 for 9 from beyond the arc here in the second half.
It doesn't get any better than that. Everyone's hitting. Everyone.
Steeple circles out of the corner. Dean. Shamunga. Jab step. Triple. No. Bullard with the board. It's been all Braves. They're 8 for 8. Strother, 9 for 9 from the floor. David Strother now with 10 points in the game.
This is incredible. That's all I can say.
Cottrell, 3. No. Kinsey with the board. Carson Mounts checking in. And the next timeout, as well as a couple of bodies for the Nighthawks. Bullard finds Levi. One more pass to Sean Kirk in the lane. No good. Spencer Levi fighting on the offensive glass, something we've seen this entire game.
And it's actually a foul called on Levi, but you still have to, you can't fault him too much for that. I think that's a situation where he kind of just got caught up in a bad spot, and I don't know if that's going to be called every single game. But like you said, Dave, the effort has been there all season long and throughout his career as a Brave.
That's Levi's first personal foul. The 4th team foul for the Braves. Here comes Snyers. Dean to Watson. Jenkins 3. Yes, sir.
UNCP has done a good job keeping Jenkins in check. Just 2 of 9 from the field for 5 points.
Kinsey finds Strother on the wing. Sean Kirk. Strother, another 3. No good. And the rebound by Tyler Dean. Jenkins attacking Strother on the baseline. They find, good move there by Darnell Snyers. Hesitating, pump fake, and spinning around for the hook shot in the lane.
He felt the defender on his back, and a lot of times guys see the hole, they're tempted to just go right up with it. He would have gotten a shot block there.
Kinsey keeping the basketball, wants the jumper. That's no good. Mounts finds the offensive glass. Good tip there by Sean Kirk. Strother with 15 to shoot. Feeds Sean Kirk. Bullard, corner 3. No good, and the rebound by Watson. The bench thought that was in. Dean for 3. No good. Mounts with another board.
And that last possession right there for the Braves, there were 5 gold jerseys in the paint, not a single blue jersey.
Even though this Braves team has a really good offense, they really pride themselves on the defensive end.
Yep. Every press conference, every pregame interview, Tony Jones emphasizes defensive rebounding.
Sean Kirk wants a 3. No good. Look at Kinsey for the board. In the lane. That's effort right there.
And it's again an offensive rebound. 19 offensive boards for the Braves.
Snyers finds Jenkins. That 3 is no good. Carson Mounts finds the rebound. Bullard wants to attack, and he finds Kinsey.
And just to remind everyone, if you just tuned in, this was a 6-point game at halftime. This game is completely turned around.
Braves outscoring North Georgia in the second half, 42-20. There's a foul on the floor. It'll be a foul on Darnell Snyers. We have reached the under 8 media timeout. Back after this, you're watching the Peach Belt quarterfinals right here on the UNCP Sports Network.
When a hospital invests in technology, skilled hands and keen eyes have new tools for diagnosing disease and making people better. At Scotland, we were the first in the region to provide 3D mammograms and robotic joint surgery, and the only hospital in the region to collaborate with Duke Health to offer both radiation and medical oncology for cancer patients. At Scotland, we invest in the newest technology for one simple reason: to deliver you closer care that's better by far.
Welcome back to the Jones Center on the UNCP Sports Network. Dave Nguyen alongside John Gross. John, at halftime, this was a 6-point edge for the Braves at 33-27. Since then, Tyrell Kirk has gotten the hot hand. He's hit 4 threes, and the Braves are outscoring North Georgia 42-20 in the second half.
Yeah, it's been the made threes, but it's been the continued rebounding effort and the strong defense by UNCP. That has not changed at all. Those two have remained constants, and now the offense is going.
Mounts at the elbow. Finds Strother in the corner. Between the leg dribble. Mounts 5 to shoot. Ratliff. Jab step. 4-3. No good. Rebound by Bullard. An offensive rebound by the Braves. Bullard. His jumper gets blocked. In transition is Snyers. In the corner for Cottrell. That three's no good. And tipped by Jordan Ratliff will keep the basketball here.
And Cottrell's normally one of the best three-point shooters in the conference. He's just 1 for 5 from deep. It's been some wide open threes.
He's made 54 of them this season. An errant inbounds pass. Jenkins recovers. Good defense there by Sean Kirk. Here we go! This place has erupted. Just a reminder to vote for him at darkhorsedunker.com. Cottrell for 3. And that momentarily silences the crowd.
Dave, what did I say about 10 minutes ago? Sean Kirk is going to have a big dunk. That's the only thing we've been missing in the second half. There you have it.
He's feeling it for 3. Why not? Sean Kirk with 5 straight points. And it's been all Braves in the second half.
This is that switch that Tony Jones talked about.
As Snyers answers with the layup.
When they're playing at this level that they've been at for the last 15 minutes of this half, I don't know many teams who could beat them nationally.
I don't think so either. Strother gets fouled on the layup. And he's going to head to the line for 2. Strother had a solid first half. It was mostly the Akia Pruitt show with 14 points. Since then, Tyrell Kirk has heated up from beyond the arc. Sean Kirk, the relentless offensive rebounding by the Braves, creating second and third chance opportunities. It's been a collective effort by the Braves today. Only Jabri Bullard has not hit the scoring mark here in this game, but Bullard has had 4 key rebounds. Strother to the line for 2. An 81% free throw shooter on the season.
And that's what makes this UNCP team so good. It's that it's not just 1 or 2 people who score. It's everyone. There are 4 guys right now in double figures, and Sean Kirk just about there with 8 points. It's everyone who can score and contribute, and they do every given night.
Strother nails both free throws. A team that averages 84 points a game on the season is 2 points away from their season average. And DeJuan Lassane comes into this ball game. He always brings high energy. Poked away by Mounts, goes out of bounds, and we get to the under 4 media timeout. All Braves in a 30-point advantage with 4 minutes to go. You're watching the Peach Belt quarterfinals right here on the UNCP Sports Network. Welcome back to the Jones Center on the campus of UNC Pembroke. Dave Nguyen alongside with Jonathan Gross. John, it's been all Braves in the second half. A 6-point game at halftime, but the Braves have outscored the Nighthawks 49-25.
And they've already scored 16 more points in the second half than they did in the entire first half. Still 4 minutes remaining.
Watson fakes the 3, drives in the lane, and he'll have a chance for a 3-point play as he gets the layup to fall. It's going to be a foul on Sean Kirk. His first and the 5th team foul for the Braves.
And Watson is a big guy, 6'8", 250, but he plays even bigger than that. I like the way he plays. I think really every team needs a guy like a Kurad Watson.
Watson converts on the three-point play, coming off his career-high 22 points at Clayton State, where the Nighthawks won in double overtime. Mounts, backs down Watson. Hook shot, no good. Watson with the board. That's the fourth rebound by Watson. In transition was Dean. Ball goes out of bounds. It looks like there's going to be a foul on the floor. It's going to be a foul on Sean Kirk. The sixth team foul for the Braves. The second team foul for Sean Kirk, who had that monstrous dunk moments ago. Tyler Dean 0 for 1, a 61% free throw shooter on the season.
You mentioned that monster dunk by Kirk. Not only does he feed off of dunks like that, his team does, the arena does. Good things tend to happen after he has those big dunks.
Dean goes 1 of 2. Sean Kirk finds Ratliff. Sets a screen for him. Sean Kirk rolls for 3. Yes. Sean Kirk now in double figures with 11. Steeple attacks on Lassane. Off glass, no good. Ratliff with another rebound.
He just glides through the air.
Relentlessly. With the basketball, Ratliff finds Mounts. In the corner, a high pass for Bullard. They feed Sean Kirk with 15 to shoot. Sean Kirk, he wants another 3. That's no good. He gets his own miss. There's going to be a foul as Sean Kirk was attacking the basket. A foul on the Nighthawks.
And at this point, it's a combination of the Braves' continued effort on the glass and North Georgia is not boxing out. And I know they're down big. They're down 29 points right now, but you got to put bodies up.
Lassane gets the inbounds pass. Sean Kirk, he's feeling it. Why not? Another triple for Sean Kirk. That's his 4th of the game.
When he's hitting, when Pruitt's hitting from deep, in addition to UNCP's normal shooters, again, you can't slow down this offense.
Braves came in on a 4-game winning streak, averaging 92 points a contest. Dean, 3 off the mark. Ratliff with the rebound. 2-on-3. Ratliff was attacking. He gets the ball stripped away. Dean out ahead to Steeple. Zez Steeple attacks the lane. Watson. Dean, 3. No. The Braves will be moving on to the Peach Belt quarter or semifinals. That will be this weekend. And depending on if the Lander women's basketball team won their game tonight, the Peach Belt Conference semifinals for men and women will be at Lander in South Carolina. That 3 is off the mark by Sean Kirk. Watson for 3. No. Rebound by Mounts. Out ahead to Jordan Ratliff. Lassane guarded by Dean. The crowd wants him to make this 3. Instead, he's fouled for a 3-point play.
The Braves have another chance to finish out a home game above 90 points. And this is a team that loves playing at home, and unfortunately for their sake, it's the top remaining women's team who will host and not the top remaining men's team, because if it had been, the Braves would be hosting the rest of the way.
Dewan Lassane to the line for 2. And if he converts on both of these free throws, it'll be free funnel cake fries for everyone at Wing Company. He makes the first. Scoreboard. Augusta and Georgia College tied at 57 with 8 minutes to play in the second half. Lander's men's team defeating Flagler right now 58-41 with 7 minutes to go. Lander has defeated Young Harris 66-50 in the women's bracket. And as Lasagne has converted 2 of 2 from the line, free funnel cake fries for everyone in attendance.
And with that Lander women's win, that means UNCP will play their next either game or 2 at Lander. Just isn't too far of a drive for UNCP fans to get down, so if you're a Braves fan, make sure to come on out and support the team. Obviously, this is the final home game of the season, but otherwise you can listen live at the UNCP Sports Network.
Bullard's 3 is no good. And John, I just want to say thank you, not only to you, but the entire staff that we have been able to work with this entire basketball season. As Jenkins knocks in the 3, we want to thank all of our interns, including on today's broadcast, Jaquil Williams directing, Jameer Stroman, Jonathan Miller, and Antoine Johnson on the camera operating duties. What are some of your final thoughts as this is the final YouTube streamed broadcast for this year's basketball season?
The final home stream, we'll have the tournament games the rest of the way, both conference and champion and NCAA tournament, but it's been a great time, and UNCP has again protected home court this season, dominant to the bank.
The 11th home court win for the Braves this season, and they're going to be going in with a lot of momentum as they move on to the semifinals of the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. For the entire staff and crew, for John Gross, I'm Dave Nguyen. Everyone have a great night, and remember, go Braves.